Hi, BookTube. Welcome to Jackie's Literary Corner. I am Jackie, and it's time for a bookish update for you guys. So in case you guys are interested, I did do a review of High Rise. I did look last night to see because I wasn't sure people would be interested because it's normally not my thing. And I talk a lot more about fantasy, and then maybe in classics, of course, but this kind of book is normally what I don't talk about that often. So I wasn't sure if people would be interested, but it looks like I did get some views. I don't know if people liked it or not, but I did get some views. And it's a review that I feel really proud of because I feel like I actually put a lot more effort into the annotating, and I read some quotes for the book and stuff like that. So I feel very proud of that review. And so currently I decided I have been reading The Wastelands by Stephen King, the third book in the Dark Tower series. Then once I'm done with this one, I've read all the rereads, and now I can start reading one that I haven't. I mean, I did read part of Wizard and Glass, but I barely remember it, so it's like a completely fresh start. But there was and I might have mentioned this when I did my review for Salem Slot, that what I like about rereads is that, especially if it's been a long time since you read it, sometimes you don't remember stuff. Like, you remember the basic plot, but there's details in the book that you don't remember. Like, I did not remember the Bear Guardian. That is kind of a cyborg type creature that is introduced in the beginning of the book, where Eddie and Susanna and Roland are in this jungle type, this forest type place, and there's a Bear Guardian attacks Eddie while Susanna and Roland are working on her training to become a better gunslinger. And then I forgot how long it took for them to finally meet up with Jake. Who, he comes back in this one, in the third one, and from a different time, and I didn't realize how long it took. And I forgot how much of an asshole his dad is. He kind of reminds me of a grown-up Henry Dean, if he had not gotten into, cocaine. Well, actually, no. The dad actually does do cocaine in the story. Which, yeah, I mean, I can, Stephen King did do cocaine, so of course he's gonna include that in his books. But yeah, I can understand why this book's not for everybody, and it gets very confusing. Like, there are, like, all the different timelines and stuff are very confusing. Like, all the characters, the three Roland's quartet, each one of them is from a different timeline, a different time period. And there's kind of a time period crossover between some of the characters that's very confusing at times if you don't follow along. I mean, we haven't even get to my favorite part, which is the train. The Gollum-like train. And I say Gollum-like, I mean not as in a golem, but as in Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Because he loves riddles and stuff, and he's very creepy. And, I don't know if I already said this, but one of the things I love about, why I love is the trope that Blaine represents, which is the trope of the thing that seems it's meant for kids, but it's harmless fun and just something to entertain kids and make them happy. But there's a creepy undertone to it. I like that in stories when they include that trope in a story, like a horror story or a fantasy story. Like in this case, it's this children's books based about this choo-choo called Charlie, and when Jake comes across the book, it has a creepiness to as he looks at the book. Like, it's all creepy vibes, and the kids are, absolutely terrified. Which I could see Stephen King writing a book about that, like just that part of the story, or maybe his son would do it. But But anyway, so far I've read quite a bit. I'm trying to get as much as I can read soon. But yeah, I am really enjoying this. I think this is still my favorite book in the series. So far anyway. I mean, I haven't continued on, but you know, Mike's book reviews was saying he was disappointed in the last two books. And I was just looking at my copies of them. Well, actually I don't have book 7 yet. But I noticed they're considerably 6 and 7, I think. Well, I don't, like I said, actually I should just say 6 because I don't know about 7 yet. But book 6 is considerably a lot shorter than, because you would think that as the series progressed, it would get longer. Like, at least in YA, that's what it does. But anyway, so I'm really enjoying this. There was one part that I think, it just made me think, so, that there, how not every, like, there's, like, one part that I just read in the book that I think a lot of people that don't like Stephen King and his works, or at least not like in the series, would kind of be like, okay, this is uncomfortable, why did you include this? It, like, put it this way, it is kind of like the moment in It that will never be adapted on screen. That one infamous scene with the 12/11-year-olds, with, like, basically playing, with that infamous scene. It's kind of a scene like that it's like, why do you have to include that? It's like, seriously, was that necessary? And I know not everybody would be comfortable with it, but he did, and that's what he's doing with this character and this demon creature. I mean, it's, so yeah. But yeah, so either way though, despite that part, I still love this book. It's still my favorite so far. Okay, and then next we have, so I'm also continuing to read Shadow of the Wind. Shadow of What Was Lost, and there was a big reveal about a certain character that I really liked. It kind of explores a familiar trope that someone just talked about it, and it's not the exact same as that particular trope that they said they didn't like. It does something different with it. But I'm really liking the story so far. I'm learning bit by bit as our character Davian learns things. And I'm worrying about the magic system and everything, and trying to figure out, okay, who am I supposed to trust? Who is, like, because I still don't, there's not a character that I downright hate, but there are some characters that I'm not sure if I can trust them or not. But there's definitely a mystery with one particular character. Now, I've heard that there are people that really like this character, then he's a favorite, that there's a mystery to him that we haven't figured out yet. I mean, although I think I have a pretty good idea of who he is, but I'm not 100% sure. So anyway, this is I'm really intrigued by this and really enjoying it and really enjoying the ride and wanting to know more about the magic system in this world and the politics of it. And I was worried about the one female character, Asha. I was worried that she wouldn't get a lot of page time. I was worried that she would not get to do anything, that she would be a damsel in distress. But she actually gets to do something. She's actually doing a lot. Like, she's doing spy type work, which is really cool to include with the female character. It's really fun to get to see her going undercover and doing some other, more than just waiting around or being the damsel in distress. And I do believe, I just found out yesterday from, I think, Petrick's his name, Petrick's channel. Sorry, I'm new to him, but I hear a lot about him from a lot of my favorite fantasy booktubers. he talked about that the author James Islington has a new book coming out. But of course, first I'm gonna read this trilogy. And the good news is I have all the books in the trilogy, so because I was able to get the last book for clearance, and you guys know that because I talked about it in a previous video. So once I'm done with that, I will check out the other series on Goodreads and see if I'm interested in it. Because there are times with authors you might not be interested in everything they write, especially if they deviate from the genre that you normally like. Like, it's good. I think just like with actors, it's good for them to deviate and try different things and explore different types of stories. But on the other hand, it does sometimes, if they are writing something or acting in something that is not your thing, then you might not get to see or read everything by them. And of course, you shouldn't force yourself to try something if it's just not your thing. But anyway, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm wondering who all the people on the cover, because it is because it does have, like, you can't see their faces, but it does have characters, but they're drawings, so, which is nice, and there's font, which I really like. A lot of people, I prefer that, because I'm really impressed by the people's drawings and everything. I think that's really cool, people who design these covers. But I am so far enjoying this, and I don't understand why people don't like it. I mean, I still got a while to go, but so far I'm loving it. So like I said, I don't have a lot to say. Just, that's what I'm reading, those 2 books. And please check out my review for High Rise if you haven't already. And I want to, it is March of the Mammoths this month, but I don't know, I do have some mammoths. I mean, I just did my biggest books on my TBR, and a lot of them are mammoths. There's a reason for that. And like I said, I'm working on my goal. Well, actually, I said in that video that one of the goals I want to work on is reading these bigger books, these mammoth books, and actually finishing some of them, getting them off my list, off my TBR. And not that I'm rushing them, it's a big commitment, and I'm thinking, I have so many other books that aren't going to take me as long to read. So it's a bit of a struggle. Trying to prioritize those bigger books. Like, it's something I want to work, one of my goals for this year, but it's still very tempting to read shorter books. And then I have so many of them that I end up putting down each of them, be like, I want to get to that one, and then I want to read that one, and like I try each, it's like a buffet, where I dip my ladle into each one of them and take a bite of each one of them. And I need to put some of them down and pick one. But I'm not very good at doing that. But anyway, so that's what's going on right now with my reading. We'd love to hear what you are reading right now. Please feel free to share in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to give a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell notification below if you want to be notified of my latest videos. I hope you're enjoying your reading, and I will talk to you all later. Alright, bye!